Mia Khalifa, a name that's become synonymous with controversy and rapid fame, was born Sarah Joe Chamoun on February 10, 1993 in Beirut, Lebanon. Her journey from a conservative upbringing in the Middle East to becoming one of the most searched for adult film stars in history is a fascinating tale of identity, choice, and consequences. That being said, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joe. Thank you so much for stopping by. On this channel I just speak about anything I want to speak about, whether they are viral or not. So if video essays are your thing, deep dives or documentaries are your thing, this is the channel for you. Kindly subscribe if you've not, like, comment and share this video. Let me know what you guys think in the description box down below. Today we're talking about Mia Khalifa. I don't know what you guys are going to think about this. This is somewhat of a controversial person. I'm here not to judge. I'm here to give a very neutral background on Mia Khalifa and just let you guys see her background. The reason why I'm speaking about Mia Khalifa today is because I've always known of her, but I realized that I did not know about her. So I was on TikTok one day and I'd seen an interview or a clip of an interview that she had done. The things she said in that interview just felt so new to me, and I decided to deep dive and dig more into her. I realized the kind of person she was, her background and everything. Honestly, I'm not someone who indulges in the websites she's known for, but I know of Mia Khalifa. I have a friend who didn't even know about her at all, and I have another friend who, when I told her about Mia Khalifa, she was so shocked because this information was new to her just as it was new to me. So I'm putting this out there for other people who did not know this side of her to know this side of her, first of all, and secondly, just, I don't know, I kind of have a soft spot for her, so I just wanted to tell her story. I'm not here to judge her. I'm just here to do a deep dive on her and let you guys see things from her own point of view. Maybe some information that you did not think you knew, maybe I would be the one to tell you guys that information. But before we go in, let's say the word for today. So today's daily motivation is: let your heart be your compass, leading you to the shores of your dream. Let your heart be your compass, leading you to the shores of your dreams. So this is from my journal. So if you want to purchase my journal, link is in my description box. And let's continue. So now let's do a little background on Mia Khalifa. Mia Khalifa, she immigrated to the United States in 2001 following the South Lebanon conflict. As a young immigrant in Montgomery County, Maryland, she faced the challenging task of adapting to a new culture while she was also grappling with her own sense of identity. She came shortly before the September 11 attack. The aftermath of the September 11 attacks just intensified the bullying that she experienced, especially when she was in school. And she had described herself as the darkest and the weirdest girl there in school. She didn't have any other person that looked like her. According to a podcast that I listened where she was being interviewed, she actually said that she wanted to be a Jew, she wanted to have her own bat mitzvah, and she just wanted to be a monk, but she couldn't because she was different. She didn't even have an American accent then. She had her South Lebanon accent. She didn't have friends. She was bullied all the time, so she was just always to herself and always in her own company.
I moved to America in 2001 from Lebanon, and I grew up as one of the very few brown people in Montgomery County in the school that I went to. It was me and a couple Indian kids, and that was it. I was the odd one out, and everyone was white and Jewish, and I wanted to have a bar mitzvah, and I wanted to do all of these things that everyone else was doing and eat the peanut butter jelly sandwiches in my lunch bag like everyone else. And there was a lot of bullying and a lot of things that ensued after 9/11 happened. So my childhood was a little rough. I didn't have too many friends. I was also extremely overweight and just did not fit in anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. So I turned inwards, and I don't know, I had a lot of shame over being different, not being attractive, not getting any positive attention or validation from myself.
You have been bullied at this age, at a very early age. The early experience of otherness and rejection would have had a very profound impact on her self-esteem and her body image. But throughout her childhood and her adolescence, Mia just struggled with her weight, and this is a battle that significantly affected her self-perception and also her confidence. In her words, "I struggled my entire childhood with weight, and I never felt attractive or worthy of male attention." And this lack of self-esteem and this feeling of unattractiveness just became a driving force in her life, and this pushed her to seek validation from external sources. Let's talk about how Mia found herself in the adult film industry. The turning point came during her college years, and Mia, she started to lose weight through doing little lifestyle changes. She's also come out to say that she did some unhealthy things to lose weight because she always struggled with her self-identity and her body. As time changed, she underwent a very significant physical transformation. She lost so much weight, and for the first time, according to her, she experienced the intoxicating rush of compliments and attention that had eluded her for so long. So basically, when she lost weight, when she looked more beautiful or conventionally beautiful, she started getting compliments from people, even men, and this was something that she had never ever had before.
Kind of hated and was ashamed of, and I didn't feel as pretty as I was. So whenever I got attention from men, I felt like I need to hold on to this. I'm gonna lose it. I might not ever get it again. Like, I don't know when this will pass again. It's like a shooting star. I need to hold on to this and do whatever I can to make them happy so that I can keep getting this.
Because you hadn't gotten any of that while you were younger.
Yeah.
If anything, you were getting shamed about your body.
Yes,
so
exactly.
to get any type of positive reinforcement about the way that your body looked from a man was something that you had not experienced. So it was like something, again, I get what you're saying, you wanted to hold on to.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight to lose, obviously.
According to her, after feeling what it was like, that validation and the compliments for the first time, I did not want that to go away. This newfound attention and validation just became a powerful motivator for Mia. She's tasted acceptance and she's tasted admiration, and she just found herself just craving more. And it was this yearning for continued validation that likely played a significant role in her decision to enter the adult film industry late 2014, and at this time she was just 21 years old. Mia Khalifa's entry into the adult film industry was influenced by a lot of things, but was mostly influenced by a complex set of personal circumstances and also external pressures. So I mentioned earlier that Mia Khalifa, she was born in Lebanon and she was raised in Maryland. She struggled with her self-esteem because at this point her self-esteem was also related to her weight, also fitting in as an immigrant. Even though she had lost this weight and everything, when I watched her video with GoDaddy podcast, I can't remember if that's her name, with GoDaddy podcast, hopefully call your daddy, call her dad. Yeah. So as she had the interview with Call Her Daddy podcast, she said that it was not until recently that she felt confident in her body.
Oh, the crazy thing is my body image didn't change until maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Even after I lost all the weight between those few years after high school and my early 20s, I thought it would fix everything. I thought it was my boobs that made me feel so low and so self-conscious about myself. But after I got my boob, that one was a breast lift and implants.
Oh.
Because of my drastic weight loss.
We are going to see this as a driving force as to why Mia Khalifa did what she did. So her being in the adult film industry was just influenced by a complex set of personal circumstances and also external pressures that we're going to speak about. These insecurities that she faced just made her vulnerable to external validation and manipulation. I didn't want to put myself into this situation, but I just think in this point I can understand her. For someone who, when I was younger, I was bullied as a child. From primary school to secondary school, I was really, really bullied. Whenever I got validation or admiration from men, at that time, it was just what I wanted to hear. And it's always as a result of low self-esteem because you do not think that you are beautiful. So when someone sees you and like, oh my God, like, oh, you're beautiful, that's just all you want, and literally you're vulnerable, and in that point you can get so manipulated. So I mentioned earlier that also when I was speaking about Jojo Siwa, I think like 3-4 months ago, I mentioned that when I was 12 years old, I was dating someone that was 21. Thank God nothing sexual happened at that time, but like, what if something sexual happened? And again, why is a 21-year person looking at me and getting attracted to me? Why? And secondly, at that time when I was in a relationship with this person, I was very, very happy. I was on top of the world, because I'm like, not only does my mate validate me or is attracted to me, it's someone older than me that is attracted to me. In an interview, Khalifa, she revealed that she was overweight and she didn't really have very many friends. She also said that she did not look like everyone else who was around her. So this led her into a relationship that she has now come to describe as abusive, as manipulative. We don't know who this Mia Khalifa's first husband is, but there are posts on Reddit about someone claiming to be her husband and everything. But I didn't put that in this video because I don't know if that's her husband. I didn't want to do a deep dive on that one. I didn't want to dig deeper. But according to my research, that has been pointed out, but it's not something that I think is significant to the video that I'm posting today. Her insecurity and her vulnerability led her to a relationship that she now describes as abusive and manipulative. So Mia Khalifa, she married this man shortly after she turned 18. That means she was dating this man even before she became an adult. She also described this situation and this decision as being talked into eloping to Vegas. She got married when she was young. Like, I'm even thinking like, where are her parents? But then again, it's mostly common in the Middle East and in some Asian countries for children, especially girls, to get married very early, even before they are at the age of 20. I mean, that's very common. So I don't think her parents took it as a big deal. I don't know. I even also tried looking for her parents on Instagram and on Google, and I didn't see her parents. I kind of want to see her parents. I'm not gonna lie, that's one I want to see, but I didn't see her parents. According to Mia Khalifa, her ex-husband just played a very big, significant role into her entry in the adult film industry, and she claimed that, in her own words, he put that adult film world in front of me and encouraged it. So at the age of 20, Mia Khalifa, she was working in a fast food joint. One day as she was working, she was handed a business card by an industry scout. When she showed this to her husband then was working in the US Army at that time. And instead of discouraging her, he actually encouraged her to participate. He encouraged her to pursue the opportunity, which Mia Khalifa attributes to him fetishizing the idea. Late 2014, while she was living in Florida, she visited the Bank Bros studio offices, and this was where she was showered with lots of compliments that provided the validation that she had just been craving for. When she went to this company or this studio, the company, they discussed performing in adult film industries with Mia Khalifa. They offered her a contract, but the thing is, they didn't offer her a contract before the video that she did went viral. So during the interview that I watched, when she was explaining the whole thing, it's after that video went viral that they offered her that contract. And this time she was just 21 years old. At age 21, she just began her brief career in October 2014. According to her, this lasted approximately 3 months. I did not know that Mia Khalifa lasted 3 months in the industry. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that she was still in the industry or left like 2 to 3 years ago. I did not know that she just did 3 months. That's the thing that really shocked me, because she's very popular. I don't think I even know any other porn star that has gotten so much buzz. And the fact that I found out that she's only worked for 3 months in the adult film industry, I'm not gonna lie, like, that really shocked me. And I'm still going to shock you guys in case you guys do not know anything about her. I'm still going to shock you guys in one other thing. Mia Khalifa, she had described her decision to enter into the adult film industry as an impulsive act of rebellion and as a result of being approached at a very vulnerable point in life. She performed in about 12 explicit adult films, and according to her, she earned a total of $12,000 before exiting the industry.
The financial side of it is extraordinary too. After you made the video that I want to talk about in a moment, which involved you wearing the Islamic dress, the hijab, you, for a time, were the #1 most popular porn actress on Pornhub, which is this aggregator site for porn that is wildly popular throughout the world, it seems. And you were getting hundreds of millions of views. And yet, despite that, in the porn world stardom, you were paid a grand total for all the 12 sex videos you made. You were paid a grand total of $12,000 US. And yet you made millions and millions of dollars for both Bang Bros, the company that you worked with, and Pornhub, the aggregating site. How could that be?
That's just how it is. I'm not the only one who was singled out by this. It's not like I had a terrible contract or a terrible manager. Not that I didn't have a manager or an agent.
At all?
No.
No advisors, nothing at all?
No.
And you were 21, you were barely out of childhood, frankly.
Yeah. No, I mean, the human brain doesn't fully develop until the age of 25. So like my decision-making part of my brain still needed forming. There was no one to tell me what to do or to say this is wrong. This is important
about the nature of the porn business, because you make a video, it lives forever online, and the more popular it gets, the more hits it gets. And we're not just talking about the United States. Many of your videos were, it seems, very popular in the Middle East.
This is what she came out to say, $12,000, but Bang Bros, they debunked what she said. So they said that she earned over $100,000. She came out again and she said that she did not earn up to that amount, that every money she had made after the $12,000 was her working for it. So she was doing other work, other tasks for Bang Bros, and that's how she got paid. But from that video itself, she's only earned $12,000. I don't know what you guys think about that. Do you guys believe her? Do you guys believe Bang Bros? So despite her short-lived career, Mia Khalifa, she became one of the most searched for performers on popular adult websites, particularly after a controversial scene that featured her wearing a hijab. And this scene went viral. This sudden notoriety just brought her instant fame, but it also brought her criticisms and also brought her threats. Mia Khalifa, she's been very, very vocal about her regrets regarding her decision to enter adult films, and she's also come out to speak about the ongoing challenges that she faces due to her brief but highly publicized career in the adult film industry. So prior to researching for this video, I didn't know her name was not Mia Khalifa. So let's speak about how she came up with the name. So the creation of a stage name normally is often a very pivotal moment in anybody's career, and for Mia Khalifa, this decision would just prove to be a particularly significant one. I said earlier that Mia Khalifa, her real name is actually Sarah Joe Chamoun, and she was born in Beirut, Lebanon. When it came time for Mia Khalifa or Sarah Chamoun to select her professional name for the adult film industry, she was inspired by two sources that were not related but different. Like even me, I was kind of surprised. For her first name, she chose Mia, and Mia is yet a very simple, memorable name, but it has a very personal significance. This choice was not random because Mia was the name of her beloved dog at that time, who she loves even till now. And by adopting, it's so funny that she adopted her pet's name, honestly. So by adopting her pet's name, Mia was just infused with her new identity, with also a touch of personal connection, and perhaps this just provided a small comfort because she ventured into this controversial career path. And if you're an animal person, you know how much your animal or your friend, your furry friend, just means so much to you. So I just feel like she picked this name because at that time it was her dog that she really, really liked. So not in a weird way, it was her dog that she was really, really close to, and maybe she just wanted to remember her dog all the time. That's why she picked the name. I don't know, maybe. Do you guys think that? And when I was watching her Call Her Daddy podcast, she also said that her two dogs, especially the first dog, is the one she loves the most. Yeah, she said that actually. So she said her first dog is the one she loves the most because she was there through everything. So I'd like to think that that's the dog she got the name from. I think so.
Brain that kept you going? Like, did you have a goal, or did you have, like, what was in your mind of, like, I am so alone globally and I'm getting banished from where I was literally born? Like, where did your head go to, like, what kept you going in those moments?
I don't know. My number one, my dogs. Like, what kept me alive and kept me from actually giving into thoughts that were entering my head was literally my dogs. I had no next of kin at that point. I thought, like, I had no one to take them. I was the reason that they would be alive every day. So they consumed my entire life. And that's why I love them so much, especially this one, my firstborn. You asked me yesterday who's your favorite. I was like, oh,
my
this
firstborn.
one. But, like, who asks that?
Right. I know, but I had to ask. So your dogs, which, like, people can, like, laugh at, I think that's, like, very like, reasonable. Are you kidding me? A bond with an animal absolutely makes sense.
My dogs and finding communities online.
So now let's talk about the selection of her son named Khalifa. Khalifa as a name did not even seem like it was not her name, if I'm being honest, because Mia Khalifa, it sounds like a real name. Obviously it's a real name, but it sounds like her name. Do you understand? It does not sound like a nickname. It sounds like her name. So when I realized that Khalifa was not her name too, I was like, huh? So obviously her choosing Khalifa, first of all, she came out and she was like, obviously it's an Arabic name. First of all, that's why she chose it. But another reason why she chose it is because at that time, I don't know if it's now, she liked Wiz Khalifa, and Wiz Khalifa was her favorite artist at that time, her favorite rapper at that time. So in interviews, she has explained that she really enjoyed Wiz Khalifa's music, and the surname just appealed to her because it's Arabic. And obviously she's also Arabic because Lebanese people are actually Arabic. This choice just demonstrates a very interesting intersection of her Middle Eastern heritage and her immersion into American pop culture, even though the name is still a Middle Eastern name. So interestingly, Mia's decision to use Khalifa as her stage surname just came despite the fact that she was advised by so many people not to use that. But she picked it and she was warned. The reason why she was warned about not using the name was because the name might come too slutty. I don't think the name comes up too slutty. To me, it comes up Arabic, so I don't know why people thought it would come up too slutty. And also, when she wanted Khalifa, people would struggle to spell it. She followed her instinct, and her instinct actually proved correct, as her chosen name, it just became widely recognizable and easily searchable, contributing to her rapid rise to fame in the adult entertainment industry. I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching all these interviews about Mia Khalifa, I just seen a very, very intelligent person that if she had not gone into porn, I see her working in a place like Wall Street or like being like a Fortune 500 company. She's very articulate when she speaks. She speaks with reason and she speaks with someone that knows what to say, if that makes sense. While this doesn't appear to have been the primary motivation for Mia Khalifa's choice, it also adds a very intriguing layer of depth to her stage name. Whether it was intentional or not, the adoption of a name with such powerful connotation in Arabic culture could be seen as a bold statement for a woman who was just entering an industry often at odds with traditional Middle Eastern values. So now let's talk about the major turning points in Mia Khalifa's career in the adult film industry. So Mia Khalifa's career in the adult film industry, though it was very brief, it was also marked by several significant turning points that not only shaped her professional trajectory, but it also profoundly impacted her personal life and her public image. So like I had said earlier in this video, Mia Khalifa, she got into the adult film industry late 2014, around October 2014. And the first major turning points actually came during that time in late 2014. And at this time, she was just 21 years old. She was in the industry. And this decision would have a far-reaching consequences that she could have not even anticipated at that time. The most pivotal moment in Mia Khalifa's adult film career just came shortly after her entry into the industry. But when she got into the industry, she appeared in a very controversial scene where she was wearing a hijab, and this decision would just become a very defining moment in her very, very brief career. This scene sparked widespread debate. It sparked so much outrage, particularly in the Middle East and among Muslim communities worldwide. When I was researching this deep dive, I asked myself a simple question: who found her on Pornhub? Who found her there? And what was the person doing there? Who found her there and what was the person doing there? Like, they were so pissed off as Mia Khalifa, but nobody asked who was the person that found her on that website and what were you doing on that website. If that website was so disgusting, was so forbidding, was so tabooish, what were you doing on there? And when you found someone that did not agree with what you agreed, all of a sudden you're crying. Because first of all, let's start with who was on that website first. Let's start with that before we continue, because what were you doing on that website? Who is the person that found Mia Khalifa? And that's what I'm trying to Google. I just clicked who found Mia Khalifa's video because I just wanted to see who found her video, and literally I seen this Reddit post that I have not even opened before. I didn't even see that, and someone was like, literally the topic on its own. Let me just screenshot it so you guys can see it on the screen. What's up with Mia Khalifa lying about the number of videos she did and her feud with Bang Bros? Oh my god, I just literally unintentionally found this now. I have to take her for her word. Back to the hijab scene, because we just literally left the hijab scene and went to something else. The aftermath of the hijab scene just led to another crucial turning point. After this had happened, she was so popular. Her rapid rise of popularity in the adult film world was just so sudden and so quick. It was very, very overwhelming, and within a very remarkably short period, she became one of the most searched for performers on adult websites. This sudden fame was a double-edged sword because it brought her opportunities, but it also intensified the backlash that came against her. And as her popularity soared, so did the threat to her safety. In a very chilling development, she began to receive death threats, including from the ISIS sympathizers. This marked a very dark turning point in her experience, significantly impacting her sense of security and her well-being. The realization that her work in adult films could have such severe real-world consequences was a very sobering moment for Mia Khalifa, who at that time she was just like 21 years. Obviously, when this happened, she was just faced with mounting pressure, she was faced with criticisms, and she was faced with so much threats. So faced with all these mounting pressures, this criticism and this threat, Mia, she just reached perhaps the most crucial turning point of her adult film career. And this was when she had decided to leave the industry. So after 3 months, which was just a very short time considering the amount of impact that she had made, especially in the adult film world, Mia, she chose to walk away from the adult film industry. This decision was heavily influenced by the controversy that surrounded her wearing the hijab scene and its aftermath, as well as the toll that it was taking on her personal life and on her relationship. While I've not watched the hijab scene, I put it on Google, and in the hijab scene, because obviously Google is not going to show you that, on the hijab scene I literally saw 2 women. Why is it only Mia that was criticized? I don't even know the name of the second woman that Mia was with. Is that the video that people were screaming for? Please, if that's the video, please let me know, because I just seen 2 women in a hijab. So is that the video? Because there were 2 women. So why is everybody coming for Mia? Why are people not coming for the second person? Everybody was just coming for Mia, and that kind of made me surprised because there were just 2 women. So now let's go back to what we're talking about. However, leaving the industry did not mark the end of Mia's struggles, because in the years that followed, she faced significant challenges as she also attempted to transition to a more conventional lifestyle. So she found it difficult to secure traditional employment, because obviously, even though she was very brief in the adult film entertainment industry, her impact in the world and her impact in the adult film entertainment industry was so high. Like, it was so high profile, and it overshadowed her other qualifications, it overshadowed her other aspirations. So moreover, she just continued to deal with ongoing harassment, ongoing threat. This is something that she still deals with till now, but obviously it's not as serious as it was then. Her being faced with this is as a result of a lasting legacy of her time in the industry. It's sad. It's really, really sad. Like, watching interviews that she's had and explaining things that she's faced after she came out. There was even a time she was in the airport with her husband because she got married in 2020. The time she was in the airport with her husband then, and someone wanted to take a picture of her when they were in a queue, and she said no, and the person shouted at her, and her husband was there, and there were like 20 people ahead of her. Like, literally, imagine that being done to you, and even her husband was there. Like, it would have been so embarrassing. And also when she traveled and she was in a business convention or a business meeting with investors in, I think, in the UK or in France, I can't remember, a man and his girlfriend or a woman came and they were like, oh, we want to take a picture with you, and she was like, no, and the woman was like, you see, I said that's not me, Khalifa, and the person said like a very, very derogatory thing. And I think that pissed me off, and as well pissed me Khalifa off, was the man did not say that, it was the woman that said that, and it was so heartbreaking. And she said that she went to the bathroom to cry, and she still got the contract, and the people, they consoled her because they understood everything that happened. So she's been faced with a lot of things in the industry. Mia Khalifa leaving the industry, then she's come out to say that she earned just £12,000 or $12,000 when she was working in the adult film. And obviously when she revealed this, many people were so surprised, and her revealing this just challenged many assumptions about the financial rewards of the industry, especially for its most visible performers. And it also added another layer of complexity to Mia Khalifa's narrative. And again, we see that people in this industry, they get trafficked. People have come out to say how they get trafficked and forced to do this act even when they do not want to. Obviously, we know some people do it because that's what they want, but some people, they do it being forced, and sometimes they don't even get anything from it. So it's just very, very sad. Maybe I should do another video about the dark world of the adult film industry, because it's really, really dark. I didn't want to put it in this video because we're talking about Mia Khalifa, but if you want me to do a video on that, please let me know and I would write my notes. Let's talk about how Mia Khalifa's decision to wear a hijab in a pornographic scene affect her public image. So Mia Khalifa's decision to wear a hijab in a pornographic scene, it just became a very defining moment in her career, and this would dramatically reshape her public image and her life trajectory. This single act, even though it lasted like few minutes on the film, I don't know how long it lasted for, can you let me know? It ignited a firestorm of controversy that continues to echo even till this day. And again, it just illustrates the complex intersections of sexuality, religion, and cultural identity in the modern world. When the scene was released, it just catapulted Mia from a relatively obscurity to global notoriety almost overnight. And this video went viral, and when it went viral, it just made her one of the most searched for adult film performers on the internet. However, this modern fame just came at a very tremendous personal cost, and the backlash was just so swift. It was so severe, particularly from Muslim and Middle Eastern communities. They viewed the act as a profound disrespect to Islam and its cultural symbols. Obviously, I can see where you're coming from. You're wearing a hijab that is seen as a thing of purity and modesty, and you're using a hijab to literally do what is considered a taboo. Obviously, I understand why they got mad. Like, I understand why they got mad. Mia was asked why she did not object to this scene being done, and she said, according to her, she said, in my own words, these evil people are going to get me killed. And when she told them this, they told her nothing. They just laughed. Literally, they just laughed. And she was like, okay, let's do it.
You were wearing the Islamic headscarf, often known as hijab, and of course then it developed into a sort of a sex scene. You must have known how provocative that was.
I verbatim told them, you guys are going to get me killed.
And they said?
they just left.
That being said, the controversy just exceeded far beyond mere criticism. Mia, she found herself the target of death threats, including some from the ISIS sympathizers. I don't want to say it as it is because I don't know if YouTube hates that word. So she found death threats from the ISIS sympathizers, and her personal information, they were leaked online, and this exposed her to further harassment and further dangers. Her Twitter was hacked, and the threats were not just limited to online abuse. They included serious real-world dangers that, like I said earlier in this video, Mia was just fearing for her safety. She was fearing for her life and the safety of those that were close to her. So Mia's decision to wear a hijab in that scene was influenced by several factors. She later admitted that she did not fully understand the cultural and religious significance of the hijab at that time. I'm not gonna tell you, I don't know if I believe that, because first of all, she is from the Middle East, if that makes sense. Obviously, another thing that shocked me is that Mia Khalifa was raised Catholic. That surprised me, because till when I was researching this topic, I thought Mia Khalifa was Muslim, but she's not Muslim. She was not raised Muslim. She was raised Catholic. The adult film producers, as Bang Bros, they saw an opportunity to create a very controversial and attention-grabbing scene, and likely this played a very significant role in encouraging or even pressurizing Mia Khalifa to wear a hijab. In an interview that she had, she said that she regrets the decision, she's reflected on the decision, and she's expressed regret. She acknowledges that it was made without a full appreciation of the potential consequences, even though she knew she was going to get, but at the end of the day, she didn't think it was going to be as big as that. In fact, she's even come out to say that she did not even think that people were going to know her, because there are so many videos on the website for you to watch, and she was like, little old me, nobody would know me, because then again, don't forget, she's literally been a shadow of herself. People have not looked at her and been like, oh, that girl. So she just thought that she would just be a number on the website. She didn't think that she was going to stand out like that, if that makes sense. So that's why she decided to do it, not knowing how big she was going to be. And it's so funny, because even researching and watching her interviews, I kind of commend her, because it's not easy for you to be the face of scrutiny. People are threatening you, and you're just 21 years old. You're just 21 years old. Literally, I don't know what I would have done. I don't think I'd have been able to survive that, I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that she's still strong till now, yeah, obviously there's some things she's into now that I do not kind of support, which we'll talk about later. But the fact that she was able to just stand and just be a strong person is very, very commendable, and it's not something that I wish for anybody, because being criticized by a lot of people is not easy, and then being criticized by ISIS, yeah, that is scary, honestly. She was disowned by her parents, and she was also banned from ever visiting her country, that's Lebanon. But I think they've lifted the ban, but I don't think she's visited. If it's me, I wouldn't go, because that could be a trap. So in the years that followed the hijab controversy, Mia, she's worked to distance herself from the adult film industry, and she's also spoken out about the negative impact that it has had on her life. She has become an outspoken critic of the industry, particularly in the ways in which it exploits young women and the long-term consequences that it can have on their lives. There's an interview that I watched with Oxford Scholars, I think it's Oxford Scholars, and she spoke about it, and she was like, see, I'm not against sex work, I'm not against what people choose to do with their lives when it comes to that. I'm just against the industry and how they exploit people. And she's happy that there is something like Hunt. I don't want to say that because YouTube doesn't like it, but the one every influencer and celebrity jumps on when they don't have money. And she said that she likes that because people and creators are in control of their own money. There's no contract to sign. People are in control, as she wasn't in control during her own time.
I think that sites like OnlyFans are incredible outlets for women who have already entered the sex work industry and want to do it in a safer way and in a more ethical way. But I would never recommend a woman to enter the industry by going to one site over another, because I would never recommend for her to do it, full stop.
So that I can see. Even herself, she's also on OnlyFans, and she was also doing cam girl after she left the Pornhub industry and after she left Bang Bros. And according to her, when she was camming at that time, she did not take off her clothes. She would just turn on the cam and then go and be applying for jobs and doing other things. And she said she would hear the tips play, like Pokemon, she would hear the tips coming, people would be expecting her to come and show them her assets, but she would not show them her assets. And she just did that while she was looking for a job. And she was like, I'm giving myself 1 year to do this, in which after that, I'm going to speak about that later on in this video, but she's done other jobs after that. So Mia, like I said, she's used her platform to just raise awareness about the dangers of online harassment and the need for better protections for women both in and outside of the adult film industry. Despite her efforts to just move on from her past, the hijab scene just remains a very significant part of her public identity, and the controversy that it sparked just continues to follow her till this day. So now let's speak about how Mia Khalifa's career in the adult film industry affects her daily life. Mia Khalifa's transition from the adult film industry to a more conventional career path has been a journey that has been marked by both challenges and opportunities. So basically, after she left the adult film industry in early 2015, Mia just faced the daunting task of reinventing herself in a world that had already formed strong opinions about her. The notoriety she gained during her brief stint in the adult film has continued to affect her daily lives, especially in significant ways. So one of the most persistent challenges that Mia has faced is the ongoing public association with her past. Like, I gave examples of how people will come up to her and be like, oh, let me take a picture with you, and she says no, and they shout at her. Even like there's been a time she said that people just touch her inappropriately, and I'm like, why are people touching her inappropriately? Is it because you guys have watched her on that website? So if people have watched her on the adult film website, it does not give you the right to touch her inappropriately, because then again, even as at then, she was doing what she was doing with people who she consented to. Talk more of you even coming to touch her without her consent. Like, that is great for you to touch someone without allowing them to give you consent, and because you think you own her body. That is very disgusting. You should be in jail for that. However, Mia, she has been able to leverage her notoriety to create new opportunities for herself. Perhaps her most successful post-porn career move has been her embrace of social media influencing. Mia, she has built a massive following across various platforms with over 4.4 million followers on Twitter, 27.6 million on TikTok, and 27.8 million followers on Instagram. And her online presence has also shown her to connect with her fans, share her experiences, and build a new brand that is separate from her adult film personas. Also, before she fully embraced social media, when she left the scene, I spoke about how she was a cam girl, then she was a sports commentary with ESPN, and during this time she did not stay long because, again, the controversy with her being associated with the adult film industry got into the way. And after that, she became a paralegal, in which a person actually employed her, but she said that she actually felt for the person because people would just call the company because they found out that Mia Khalifa was working there, and they would just call. Even when they want to go for a meeting, they have to decide if they want to take her or not, because she was always there, and people knew about the fact that she was an ex-porn star. So like, because people knew about that, people would just call the company at several times. And even though, according to her, the owner did not really mind, because when she was coming, they asked her, are you a porn star? And she was like, yeah. She was very honest and everything. She still kind of felt some type of way, because she just felt like she was disrupting the mass business because she was there, and she decided to leave. She's come out to say that during the time when she left, it was very, very tough for her. She was in a $500 apartment or a room, and she didn't have anything, she didn't have any money, and she always used social media as her escape, even though social media was always coming for her. But because she was scared to go out or do anything, social media was her escape. So she also met her best friend on Twitter, who did not come against her and was always there. And that's when she decided to move from there to go and stay with her best friend.
Like, I found a little sports community, and I just found different places online that I felt like I could be myself and be at home. And I didn't really start to feel like I had a place in the world until I met my best friend in the entire world, Rachel.
Oh.
Who, by the way, is freaking out that I'm on this show.
So literally, social media gave her like good things and bad things, gave her a best friend, and now she's fully leveraged social media. She's fully leveraged social media to create content and monetize her content. Now she has control over her own body, over her own content and things she wants to put out. And also the one that I don't agree with, she has a jewelry line, cool, but the name is Satan, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm too African to buy anything that has Satan in it. Sorry. But if you want to buy, cool. But like, I'm too African. I'm not going to buy something that has Satan. No, I'm not. And I'm not a religious person. I'm just not going to buy anything that's associated with Hades. I'm sorry. Sorry. But Mia, she has used her platform to advocate for issues that she cares about, including mental health, body positivity, and women's rights. She has also been very vocal about her regrets regarding her time in the adult film industry, and she's used her experiences to caution other people about the potential consequences of entering the industry. Despite this new career path, the impact of her porn career continues to affect her daily life. Yeah, she's spoken openly about the ongoing challenges that she faces due to her past, and this includes issues with privacy and public interactions. She has also shared her struggles with anxiety and depression, which she attributes to the part of the intense scrutiny that she faced and she's endured over the years, because there's no way you would not endure what you've endured and you would not be depressed or you would not have anxiety. And in interviews, Mia, she's actually expressed a desire to just move on from her past and to be known for something other than her brief career in the adult film industry. Again, she sought therapy. She loves therapy. That's what I got from her interviews that I watched. So she sought therapy and she's been working on herself. Before, she just hated when people mentioned porn, but now she's embraced it because she's like, yeah, that's a part of who I used to be. I'm not going to run away from it. She's fully accepted that, and she seems to be living well. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that she got married in 2020, but they divorced, and I don't know why they divorced. And she got married to him because he never even knew about her past. And I'm sure you'd be like, who did not know about Mia Khalifa? A friend of mine, when I told her I was filming for Mia Khalifa, she was like, who is that? And I was like, she's a porn star. And she was like, I don't know, and I don't watch porn. And yeah, she doesn't watch porn. And when she said she did not know Mia Khalifa, I believed her, because yeah, there are people that do not know Mia Khalifa, just like her ex-husband did not know her. I don't know why they divorced. Maybe they divorced because he just couldn't handle the harassment that it came with. I don't know, that's my own opinion. But yeah, so in interviews, Mia, she's expressed her desires to move on and just to be known for something other than her life in the entertainment industry. However, she also acknowledges that this is going to be a very difficult task, because what happened is a very lasting impact of her previous choices and the way that they continue to shape public perceptions of her. She cannot change it. This is the best time for me to introduce my journal. So this is the hard copy of my journal. This is the Manifesto Vision Guided Journal. It is a complete guide to journaling with original shadow work prompts, brain dump, and more. So if you're on a journey of self-reflection, personal growth, and you just need like a little nugget or a little therapy to help you along the way, I would just advise that you purchase my journal, because my journal is literally the best for you. It has everything. So it's a 30-day journal. Why I made it 30-day is because people do not really journal, especially if you're new to journaling. So because it's a 30-day journal, you would not feel intimidated to journal every day, and it's also not dated. So if it's dated, you could be like, oh, I've not journaled today, and you put that pressure on yourself. But me having this journal is for you to be like an easygoing time. You don't have to have the pressure to journal even when you do not want to journal. Journaling is like a therapeutic thing, so I would not advise you to just sit down and just journal because you feel you have to journal. But sometimes if you need something to just help you along the way, my journal is just the best for you. Honestly, it has 5 different subsections, and why I made it 5 different subsections is because in 2021, when I used to journal, I did not have like an all-in-one journal like this, and I have a friend who has 5 journals. Intentional journaling and mindful journaling has a lot of things that normal journaling doesn't, and because I'm someone who practices intentional and mindful journaling, honestly, I decided to create that month for you. So if journaling is something that you want to see yourself doing, honestly, this journal is the best for you. The first section is the law of attraction, and the law of attraction consists of 5 subsections. So it has gratitude, release, manifestation, affirmation, and scripting. Some people I've seen in the comment section, someone saying, oh, don't manifest, manifestation is not good. Even the Bible tells you to manifest. And manifestation is just like speaking into what you believe, if that makes sense. It's speaking into your future. It's like a prayer. Obviously, people say manifest. Manifest prayer to me is the same thing. So we have the law of attraction page, and in it you have the date and you have gratitude, where you write what you're grateful for. And because I'm very intentional, my goal here is not to make you intimidated by the amount of pages on my book. So it's just little pages, what you've been grateful for that day, so that you would not be like, oh my God, I have to write all these things, look at all these spaces for me. Then I have a whole page for you to script. So scripting is, where do you see yourself in 10 years? You just write it in the present tense. For example, you're like, dear me, today I was in my penthouse, even though you're not living in a penthouse. Today I was in my penthouse writing this, living this with my cat in a jacuzzi. You write it and you feel it like that is what you're feeling in there. So when you script your life, or the life you see yourself in, when you script it, you write it down, is also a form of manifestation. And in my former journal, there are so many things I scripted that came to reality and came to actualization. And because when they happened, I showed them to my friends, and yeah, we don't joke here, baby, like we know what is. So the next section is the brain dump section. Throughout the day, there are so many things that have been in your head, so many words, repetitive words, things you need to do. This is just the best for you. You can just come and just dump it. That's why I'm like, now dump freely, because you can just dump it, or you could write it as a story. This is where you can be like, dear diary, so today this happened to me and I saw the boyfriend I was with. So this is where you dump what happened for you that day. So instead of normal journal that you just come and you just dump that, there's a space for you. So if there's something you want to dump there, dump it. So the next is shadow work. So shadow work is literally my favorite part of journaling, because it just heals your inner child. For every shadow work, I have original shadow work prompts. So if you come to a page and the prompt here is not something you want to answer, at the back of my journal, we have 30 original shadow work prompts, like 30 extra original shadow work prompts. So you can pick the prompts that you want there to answer if you don't want to answer the prompt for that day. The next one that we have is the dream journaling. I hardly remember my dreams. So when I dream and I wake up, I only remember my dream at that instant where I wake up. So you just quickly write down your dreams. So here you have your thoughts before sleep, your emotions before sleep, the hours you slept, the time you woke, your sleep quality. What was your dream? Was your dream normal? Was it recurring? Was it a nightmare? Was it spiritual? Was it healing? Was it lucid? Then you write what you dreamt about and how you're feeling at that time. That is, my journal is so thoughtful and so mindful, and thanks to anyone who's purchased it, And finally, we have the weekly reflection. So weekly reflection is just to be filled once a week. So in weekly reflection, you write the date and the time, and you have what week of which month is it, because it's only to be filled once a week. And to me, I feel it on Sundays because Monday is the beginning of a new week, or Sunday is the start of a new week. So it depends on how you see it. Here we have what or who drained your energy this week, what or who gave you energy this week, your accomplished goals for the last week, your unaccomplished goals, your goals for next week, the habits that you retained, the habits you eliminated, and did you develop new habits last week, and also the themes for next week. What do you want to do more of next week? Do you want to work out 10 times a week, which is not healthy, or is it healthy? I don't know. Or do you want to work out more times next week? Do you want to eat more healthy this week? You write the themes, and then you write your intentions for next week. Next week, I intend to be more kind. Next week, I intend to be grateful. And then you rate how your previous week was. And then at the end of that, there is always a word of motivation to just keep you to the next day. So here we have, in every challenge lies an opportunity for growth. Then after you've completed your 30 days journal, I have it in hard copy and soft copy. So after you've completed your 30 days journal, obviously you have like a little letter from me here, and you also have your extra 30-day prompt. Creating this journal was a peaceful thing for me because this is literally how I journal. So now let's go to the conclusion of this video because we're not done. So in conclusion, Mia Khalifa's life story is a complex narrative of identity, choice, and consequence. From her upbringing in Lebanon to her rise to fame in the adult film industry and her subsequent attempts to reinvent herself, Mia's journey just highlights the challenges of navigating personal identity in a world that is quick to judge and also very slow to forgive. Her decision to enter into the adult film industry was influenced by a variety of factors, including personal insecurities, external pressures, and the desire for validation. However, the consequences of that decision have been profound and long-lasting, which has, in the long run, affected every aspect of her life. Despite the challenges that she has faced, Mia Khalifa, she has shown resilience, she has shown determination in her efforts to just move beyond her past and just create a new life for herself. She has used her platform to speak about important issues, she's used it to advocate for others and share her experiences in the hope of helping those who may be facing similar challenges. Mia Khalifa's story is also a reminder of the complexities of human experiences and the ways in which our choices, both good and bad, can shape our lives in so many unexpected ways. It's also a story of regret and redemption, and it's also a story of struggle, of survival, and ultimately of the ongoing search of identity and purpose in a world that is often unforgiving. And guys, that being said, that brings us to the end of this video. So in Mia Khalifa's words,
Follow more Black creators on all social platforms.
guys, if you've reached the end of this video, thank you so much. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you've not. It is 1:40 a.m. I'm just coming back from my younger brother's graduation celebration. He just graduated with Bachelor's of Engineering and he did robotics engineering. So I'm very, very proud of him. It was a very tough journey because you guys know it was not easy, and he graduated with a 2-1, a second class upper, which I'm very proud of him because he used to cry. It's not easy, especially during school, but I'm really, really, really proud of him. I'm so proud of him. So I went there, we had fun with my family, and I was so excited. But yeah, if you want to see like behind the scenes of my life, you could follow me on Instagram. No pressure, honestly. No pressure, but if you want to see like my makeup videos and things like that, you can follow me on Instagram. So guys, that being said, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. If you were here to learn, put a black emoji because I'm wearing a black hair and I made my hair myself as usual. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing, and I love you guys so much. Until next week, bye. And again, my brother said I should be posting 2 videos a week because he enjoys my content, and it was like, I want you to post 2 videos a week. That's my elder brother. which maybe I think I would. Maybe I'll start posting 2 videos a week because, yeah. But thank you so much. Until next time, bye.